We want to bring in Omeed Malik. He is the founder of 1789 Capital. Omeed, for those who aren't familiar, is also someone who has been a big Trump donor. He's employing Donald J. Trump Jr., and he's been a huge transition person who has helped bring some people like Tulsi Gabbard and RFK Jr. He helped work on their endorsements for the Trump campaign. Omeed, want to welcome you today and just ask what you're thinking on this historic morning.
Well, I can tell you I'm a little bit tired because I've been in D.C. since Thursday morning, and it feels like it's 3 weeks. But it's been an incredible experience to be here and just see the outpouring of support from, as your colleague was just saying, so many different groups from the United States that have come together to build this pretty magnificent coalition, actually.
I guess Eamon was kind of pointing to some of the potential stressors in that coalition. It's a coalition that's a tight coalition at the moment, but there are potential cracks. What do you see as somebody who kind of moves back and forth between many of these factions?
I think to a certain extent that's correct, because so many of the, I guess, factions, if you will, that comprise that coalition were not present, first time around in 2016, including myself, frankly. But I think that strengthens it. And as we work together, we're going to encounter certain issues that are novel, particularly like the one you're referring to with TikTok. And we'll have to see where there are broad areas of engagement and try to work on the specifics, which is, I think, what this issue will be showing as well.
I mean, let's talk about the situation with TikTok. It's a situation where President Trump himself was not always a fan of TikTok. He was not in favor of it being allowed to stick around at first. He changed his mind over the course of the campaign. And look, in all honesty, there are a lot of young people in particular in this nation that are reliant on it. There are businesses that make money off of this, and that's something that he stressed yesterday at his rally at the Capital One Arena. How do you see this playing out? Because straight on the face of it, the law is not on his side. He can't overturn it with an executive order.
One clarification there, I think that they may argue, again, I don't know if this is the case, there was some provision about a 90-day extension, which is
correct.
The number they're using too, which may be how they're going to try to argue that they have the ability to do this.
I think there had to be, the 90-day extension, I believe in the law, says that you have to have a buyer on the line, and if there's a buyer, that extension can take place so negotiations can continue.
Right. And is that buyer the United States government? The tweet wasn't clear. Right, so that's what I'm saying. And we don't know, right, what's exactly going on behind the scenes there, whether it's the U.S. government or a big player, existing tech incumbent. So my question there would be, have those conversations already continued? If they haven't, then I blame the Biden administration for allowing an app that has 170 million users to get to this point with no actual solution. I'm also very skeptical of TikTok and Chinese influence in the United States. I even penned an op-ed all the way back in 2020 calling for TikTok to be banned. Now, that said, nothing really practical was done after the legislation was passed. I think an interesting solution also that was indicated in the tweet was that there should be a local partner. Now, you guys know this, but I'm not sure how many people appreciate that in order to do business in China, you have to have a local partner where either the government or some local entity owns 50% of your U.S. company. And in many cases around social media, they don't allow any of our companies to operate there at all. So a bit of reciprocity is something I'm in favor of.